Korea as well, just in general. So teleport up to the top lane, so somebody's going to get a pretty strong start, as we said. And it looks like the duo going mid for KT now, wanting to avoid that bot lane of Pilot and Shay, which can't really blame them.
Yeah, you get such a nice level advantage too.
Yeah.
Trey's level 2 right now. He did help Leash over at that Gromp, but it's one more way for you to get ahead, and you can really build up pretty phenomenal CS differentials with the help of this Smite. You can also just go ahead and take their red buff if you're on this blue side. And of course we have the 2 in mid lane as well. So very interesting situation here, as Kennen of course easily able to handle a 1v2 lane.
Having 2 Smites is probably going to be pretty nice for objectives as well.
Yep. It's pretty great right now.
Interesting. All right. I'm actually excited about this. I don't know. I like seeing summoners used in kind of unconventional ways like this.
Yeah,
Score coming in.
You're excited about it now, but it's going to take over the meta, Dylan. We'll all be
well,
a lot less
it's not gonna
excited.
last. It's definitely not going to last. You can. I'm sure that
it's going to be lasting through at least 5.7.
I would imagine Rito's not terribly pleased with this development here.
But
oh, Nagne, he may not be pleased with this development. Oh, they missed the engage. And that was a flash whirlwind from Che as well.
That's just bad.
Yeah, that was...
You don't want to flash whirlwind like that. It's really difficult to hit, especially against a Kennen who has that E. It was easily avoidable.
You already have Jarvan coming in for
Fixer's
the knockup.
here.
That sets up a very easy whirlwind. And yeah, Fixer coming down now. So yeah, Che, that whirlwind was definitely unnecessary. You've got your support, Jarvan, to help get the first engage. Just follow it up.
And the Fixer's win rate, 83.3% so far with that Thresh.
Yep. He is pretty much a monster on that.
He's 5-1.
Yeah, just hitting so many just crucial hooks in team fights.
Someday, like controlling his own crab.
Why not? When you've got Smite in the top lane, you can do that.
It's great.
It is great.
You just get so much extra money too once you get that. Scimitar.
Right.
Someday just being as annoying as possible.
Yeah, score coming up as well too. This could be. Yeah, Trace just walking right through, but kind of a scary moment for him.
Yeah, and this is really good by KT. With 2 Smites, because they have 2 people in the mid lane, they have control over the jungle, actually, on both sides. And that means that they can use these 2 Smites even more effectively. This is a brilliant strategy from KT coming in. I really like what they're doing here with the Kennen, with the Kog'Maw in the mid lane. You're able to get a lot of hits onto GBM's Lissandra.
Well, KT just, again, continuing to play things even smarter. Kind of makes you wish they were going to the playoffs, huh? It was so weird for KT too, because they had such a good preseason, and then coming in to the regular season just kind of fell flat. Nobody was able to really make plays. They didn't seem to know what to do outside of 20 minutes.
Well, I mean,
they've turned it around.
Yeah, and this is a team that, remember, due to the exodus of a lot of the Korean players around the world, every team, for the most part, had to try and reinvent themselves. Score, of course, changing positions.
Yeah, going from AD carry up to jungle. And Score coming in. A little bit of damage onto Che. Fixer's right there. Descendants onto Chaser. They're going to get the teleport, actually, from Jin Air. And will this end up bad for Fixer? He has to flash over the wall. More damage. First blood going to Pilot. So KT getting a bit caught there. Jin Air turning it around.
Can't take that engagement when Sumday's teleport is down. That's just really sloppy team communication. They're going to give up a dragon for it, actually, as well.
Yeah, it seems like just a bit of laziness from KT there.
Yeah, there's no way you take that fight. Sure, you have the duo lane in mid, but with their support there as well, you're even in terms of numbers, and it was just all too easy. So a dragon given up right there, as well as that first blood. Now, Someday is going to continue to get a farm advantage as a result, but...
Yeah, he's getting a pretty decent one, too. So for now, this is going to put a little bit of pressure onto Trace. Oh, Nagne and Score.
Nagne's 6.
Lurking in the bot lane.
And this is pretty huge, too, that Nagne's actually been able to stay relevant in terms of CS, or at least keep up with GBM in the longer lane. And looks like they're not going to take that bait. Score will have to back off this, or maybe he'll try and auto the turret alongside Nagne.
Maybe. I mean, with both summoners still up for pilot, if he was still down there, I don't think that gank would have worked out. A little bit of chipping damage from KT on the mid lane turret as well.
So Skirmisher Saber already up. Actually, that's a pretty fast buy for Skirmishers. Not getting Bami's Cinder before completing the machete item. But again, it is about that smite if you're going to continue to try and starve out the enemy jungler. But they haven't really been successful at that yet. Chaser not falling behind in terms of CS.
Yeah.
At the very least. But we're only 7 minutes into this game. We'll see how that lead opens up. Somebody's going to take a trot through the enemy jungle right now after pushing it up the turret.
Well, I suppose you're going to be getting that extra gold from clearing out any jungle camps, so it's a really nice little substitute when you push that lane up. And it lets you make plays on other lanes, too.
30 extra gold every time you take that scuttler as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty huge for KT.
It's very big. It's not too far off from a cannon minion. That extra gold.
Yep.
Combined with the regular gold, it's more than a cannon
Yeah.
minion, but just the extra stuff is the stuff that you should be happy about with this top lane smite and the Skirmisher Saber machete item.
Yeah, that's the thing that's deceptive too is, yeah, we only see that 11 CS difference, but that's not accounting for the fact that some of that CS is worth a lot more
Yeah, that's the thing.
than some of what Trace is getting.
Yeah, Arrow doing well in CS in the mid lane as well, too. They've gotten more damage onto their turret than GBM has been able to do.
Yeah, not particularly surprising. Lissandra
No.
still has to get pretty close to use her abilities, so
Yeah.
she wants to farm a little bit further back at this stage, lest she gets overly poked out.
Yeah, and I feel like KT...
Arrow also going for actually Berserker's Greaves first here along with the sustain, so really this is just about fast pushing. That's what KT's trying to do, get as many autos down and just continue to shove the wave. And they have to keep shoving the wave too, because that's what opens up the jungle for Score and Someday.
And Nagne still keeping up in CS in the bot lane.
This is a really smart strategy that KT is running, and after seeing some of these games for the past week, you look at Snake's play, and they got a big advantage due to the lane swap and the fact that Shyvana could jungle very efficiently while the enemy top laner couldn't. But they didn't do a whole lot with the lead, and it wasn't the basic idea was good, but this is far more refined.
Yeah, as long as, well, Score. Oh, he misses the ult. Oh, man, and he could be in a little bit of trouble. Well, just taking some damage on the way out.
Honestly, he shouldn't have fired that ult in the first place.
Yeah.
There was no follow-up there, even if he had hit it.
You know, that was another occasion in this game already where Score has gone just a little bit too crazy trying to make picks.
Yeah, I think KT is just happy taking this late, though.
Oh, JIN, GBM coming in. Fixer just gets blown up by Chaser and ganked by Mom. And that's Fixer's second death now. Really clean gank from JIN.
Yeah, knowing Score was in the bottom side, so there wasn't going to be retaliation. They also had wards around the mid lane to give them that early warning, so nice play from Chaser. And GBM has a lot of damage going for the fast, easily large rod.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, KT's been playing very intelligently, but JIN has just been kind of getting the kills when they needed them.
GBM's been doing a very good job, not going for the Seeker's Arm Guard first in this attack damage lane, instead playing it cool, although Arrow isn't hitting particularly hard in terms of his single damage, like his single auto poke, just because of his build. Yeah, so it's not the greatest threat, of course, for GBM here either.
True enough. Someday with a really nice CS lead up in top. You know, again, like you mentioned, a lot of that CS worth more than the stuff Trace has been getting too.
Yeah, this is going to be quite scary to deal with, and I'm very curious if Someday is going to be building into this Cinder right now. Of course, he could go Trinity Force after the Saber.
Yeah.
We need to keep an eye on his pathing, because it is going to tell us a lot about what he wants to do and when he wants to do it, because if anything, this build, the downside to using it on Hecarim is it does slow down his Trinity Force power spike, where he can really eliminate the back line very easily.
Yeah. That's interesting. You know, do you just stop at the... okay, so he did go ahead and pick up Cinderhulk just now.
Yeah. Also,
and Mertritz too.
Yeah,
nice buy.
Yeah, his damage is also just going to be lower in general, because of course a lot of Hecarims prefer to get that tier 2 boots for the damage from his passive, and then try and use the the home guard as well as soon as possible to get into some of these mid-game fights. So it does make Hecarim's more dependent on scaling into the late game, but if you want to do that, it's perfectly fine here because you have all of the pressure advantage at the moment.
You know, with the way Someday has been getting in and jungling too, I don't think his Trinity Force is going to be all that slowed down. He's been getting so much extra gold.
Well, I'm curious what he wants to go next because he does have some good.
That's a good question.
Wave clear right now with the Bomby Cinder and the Sunfire Aura that comes from that.
Can Jin Air take a dragon here? They've got a couple wards, but with teleports up, might be a little bit risky. And no ult for Trace yet, or at the moment anyway, so they may want to give it a couple seconds.
Yeah, someday the level advantage as well.
Yep.
And there we see the orb used to suss out Score's location, so he's not going to be finding a lane gank, at least at present.
You know, it's too bad he wasn't able to pick up Cinderhulk for this dragon fight in case they do it. Do you think they're just going to give it away to Jin Air?
No, I don't think anybody's actually in a good position to go for this dragon right now. This pilot spell shields that at the moment. Kog'Maw trying to get back into the mid lane to clear out the wave.
It looks like he will for now. Going for a Blade of the Ruined King, it looks like, as his first big item. So again, I mean, we talked about how KT's other champions are not going to be sitting back and peeling for Kog'Maw. They're going to be going into the other team. So, you know, as Arrow on that Kog'Maw, he's going to need a little bit of self-peel. So that Blade, not too surprising, I suppose.
Yeah. Also just matching up with some more attack speed so he can continue to push turrets down. And you can see Someday really just not providing pressure yet. And that's one of the issues with going for a double Cinderhulk is it's an item that scales really nicely because of its multiplicative stats, but it's just not quite as efficient early in the game. And Jin Air going to take this dragon finally.
Yep, just going to give that one up, looks like. Yeah, going for it. There we go. So Jin Air does get dragon number 1.
It does make sense. Again, KT, they don't have to be particularly worried about that right now because they're going to be so terrifying in the late game.
Right, and they haven't given Jin Air too much of an early lead. Those 2 kills are kind of a little bit irritating. And the fact that Jin Air has 2 dragons already.
Yeah, but the CS really making up in terms of the gold differential for those kills. And
oh,
also the fact that they have a lot more turret damage right now to work with right here.
You know, again, all that extra gold onto Someday as well, too, is making the gold totals a lot more similar than you would normally think they'd be.
Yeah, Chaser doing a good job jungling around this sticky situation, though. He's managed to continue to farm very efficiently. Score's been waiting a little bit too much to get ganks.
Oh, whoa, GBM.
Wow, he actually...
Sejuani on the back end. That'll be it. Arrow gets the kill there. Ooh, GBM tried to survive it, but nice gank from KT. I hope to see a replay of that one.
Weird flash from Arrow right there. GBM actually did a great job of using the Frozen Tomb on himself to dodge the Glacial Prison. So many ice tomb prison words here, but yeah.
Death Igloo.
Because that
waiting for that one. That one hasn't been used yet. Feel free, Rido. Rido? I tried to say Riot and Rito at the same time and ended up Rido. Sounds like a motorcycle riding dog, but it's not. I don't know what it is. Okay, let's see.
Wow, great hook from Fixer.
Yeah.
Whoa, and look at that.
You know, I guess it's not surprising.
Last second dodge.
It's not surprising. Fixer is the guy who makes these kind of plays on Thresh all the time.
Not sure Arrow had to flash for that one, but, you know, better safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah, kill secured, right? All right, so our Score finally has his Cinderhulk. What in the world am I talking about? All right.
I don't know what you're doing right now.
I don't know. I saw Kog'Maw. I was thinking about Jungle Enchants. The Juggermaw enchant. That's what GE has. Our whole team.
Okay, so now Someday is going to be going for the Trinity Force, so really he's going to split push even faster with this build, thanks to Cinderhulk. Will be pretty scary to deal with. And again, Jin Air doesn't have anybody to stop this guy in the late game. He will have a field day split pushing against Jin Air's team composition.
Pretty much.
And now Sheen finished as well, so Arrow really looking to mow through these turrets. Good move, though. So you'll notice that they put Rumble against Kennen, who has a Zhonya's Hourglass, so they want to be a little bit more bully, and they put the duo lane up against Sunday. So this is a smart lane allocation by Jin Air to counteract the weaknesses presented by KT's itemization at this point in time.
Yeah. Tried to make maybe the possibility of a play happen in the top lane, but KT was wise to it. And it's just kind of, we're rolling towards this inevitable moment where someday we'll just run over everybody.
Yep, that's where we're going, Noah.
That's pretty much what's going to happen. Because Jin Air, you know, they've had a couple cool picks early on, but they just have not been able to slow down someday at all on this Hecarim.
Yeah, they really have to pray they get the next couple of dragons here.
Yeah, it's going to come back to haunt them.
They can play a very good vision game and poke someone out or pick somebody off with Lysandra and Rumble. And I mean, granted, Jin Air has this very powerful mid game, and they will be able to deal with the back line. Kog'Maw immobile, no sign of a Crucible coming anytime soon, of course, from Thresh, so they're in a pretty good position. But now the towers are starting to fall from KT as they've been chipping pretty mercilessly at them for most of this game so far.
Yeah, pretty much.
Although this top tower, after that last wave pushed in by Pilot and Shay, they got a lot of work done, and looks like they're going to have to give up top tower for their pressure on bottom.
Yeah, well, I think as long as Someday can just continue to farm the jungle, he'll be okay.
Wow.
Nagne coming in. There's a stun onto Trace. Oh, he dodges the hook. Nice move from Trace. Oh, and the flay. Not connecting. Fixer just barely out of range. You don't see him miss those very often, do you?
Fixer flashed for that. However,
Yeah, he did.
Sejuani ult's still available, but they're going to have to back off of this one. They don't want GBM coming in right now.
Wow.
2 flashes used right there, Nagne and Fixer.
Very uncharacteristic miss on the skill shots from Fixer.
Yeah, Trace had a nice juke there, though.
Yeah, he did.
It wasn't very well coordinated. Fixer there too late to take advantage of the Kennen stun, so Trace able to dodge around it.
Yep. Looks like Nagne almost has that Abyssal either way.
Trace not even having to use Equalizer right there. That's that's pretty calm. Trace is a very cool and collected player.
Yeah, generally is.
Someday now, going on a jungle mission.
See Trace make an amazing play, and you know, it looks like somebody told him what the high and low temperatures of the day were going to be. He's got the same reaction. He's like, oh, okay.
Never smiling.
Yeah. They let him know his mail has arrived and there's nothing interesting in it. It's just bills. And he's like, oh, okay.
Here we go. More jungles camps taken by Someday. Getting 50 CS ahead now.
I know, I mean...
This is getting really scary.
With the CS lead that Someday already has. Yeah, there's a Trinity Force.
He just got it. He has Trinity Force and Cinder Hulk at 20 minutes into this game.
This is a fast farming Hecarim here.
Holy cow.
A full like 18... He's like almost 2,000 gold ahead of Trace.
1,800. He's even 600 gold ahead of Pilot, who's the AD carry. Good push, though, from Jin Air. They do get the mid tower down right as this dragon comes live.
Who's going to stop this Hecarim, though? I mean, with Trinity Force, he's going to do so much damage.
Well, Pilot at least has a Bloodthirster first, and I think this is a smart adaptation in this particular scenario where you are going to be subject to some pretty heavy diving. KT sneaks into the dragon, however.
Yeah, well, the teleport
as they clear
coming
out
down.
the mid wave.
All right, teleport used for Trace.
They just let KT walk right into the river.
Yeah, it cost them the teleport on their top laner, too.
They sent so many people to just clear out mid.
All right, here we go. Dragon activated by KT. They're going to go for it. Trace looking for a good equalizer. Is he going to throw one down? It looks like he has GBM coming in as well. Dragon goes over to KT. Oh, they grab GBM with the Death Sentence into the box. They're going to blow him up. Another great play from Fixer. Someday coming in with that onslaught of shadows. Doesn't really get anybody with it, but Dragon in the mid laner, I think KT can be pretty happy with how that turned out.
And GBM had no time to even use his ult or his Zhonya's Hourglass right there. Caught out with the Sejuani ult and some great chaining of CC from KT. And that is a lot of damage coming in, as we said, from Someday, hitting the charge right onto GBM. Now he's after the blue buff.
I don't think anyone can stop that. They're
This
going to
is-
take mid lane turret too.
This top smite is really monstrous.
On Hecarim, man, it's just so scary.
Takes a while to get rolling, but once it does. So let's take a look at this one again. So GBM in the front right there gets hooked. Great hook from Fixer. And then immediately just gets hit by a Sejuani ultimate right there. GBM has no time to do anything.
Yep, once that death sentence landed, it was over. It was literally death sentence. Which it oftentimes is from Fixer.
Someday's playing farm the entire map right now.
It's like, I get to play jungler this game. Only people don't yell at me.
Score's like, oh, that's why I'm falling behind in terms of CS, because you take all my camps.
Yep.
But it's okay, because maybe he'll take towers for you too. He gives gold back
Yeah.
by taking global objectives.
Hecarim taketh, but then he sometimes gives back a little bit. Wow. He does a lot of damage to turrets too.
Yep.
A lot of damage to pretty much everything at this point.
You know, why don't you just give him some extra gold? The isolated damage takedown on that turret means he picks up
Yeah.
even more for himself.
And why not? He's actually nearing the flame horizon on this Smite Hecarim.
It's a lot easier to do when you have Smite, though. It's not
true.
as impressive. The flame horizon has less of a glow about it, though.
Well, 100 CS ahead, yeah. It's not just in top lane. It's mostly top lane, but I would say like 2/3 top lane, 1/3 jungle at this point.
You know what else is great about this? Is Someday can just take blue buff all he wants because Nogne's been in this bottom lane. He's an energy-based champion, so great composition from KT.
Yeah.
I think they've done such a good job of playing this one.
Man, it's really a pity that we're not going to get to see them play for a long time.
Yeah, why are they so good all of a sudden?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is by the time they play in actual competition again, the meta will have shifted. So enjoy it while it lasts, guys. It's like the only time.
To be
KT's gonna
fair,
able to do this.
no, that's not fair. They were doing well before 5.5 as well.
They were starting to kind of.
They
starting
actually
to sort of get rolling.
They actually have had a very good second half of this season.
That is true. But it remains true as well that by the time we're going to see him again, the game will have shifted. So will they be able to shift with it? Or we could just be in for a whole nother year of tank meta. As long as we don't get back to the quadruple heal Mundo comps.
Oh, God. Mid Soraka with Mundo.
We always were afraid back in the day, remember that it might be a Mundo versus Mundo top lane in these blind pick matches sometimes. Luckily, it never happened, but it could have. It could have happened. And that's enough to keep me up at night sometimes. Well, KT just continuing to push this advantage, and nobody in Korea has really had to deal with this yet. So
I'm sure they have in
lucky Jin
scrims.
Air, yeah, in scrims, but not in a competitive match.
Great pressure from KT.
Yeah.
You see right there, Someday just swept through the entire top side jungle looking for... He was actually on the hunt for red buffs right there.
Oh, it's empty either way when he's done with it.
Yeah. Continues just to be this incredible pushing force with that blue buff, never running out of that mana. Not sure exactly how Trace is going to stop him. He's getting close to getting that Spirit Visage.
Yeah, I don't think he really can.
He probably just... I mean, he could definitely 1v1 Trace right now with the Smite. Instead, he's like, are there any jungle camps for me to farm?
He's going to go in solo Baron at some point in the near future.
He's going to go back to my jungle.
Because it is his jungle, it's not Score's anymore.
Topside jungle belongs to Someday.
I guess so.
These are my wolves.
Top lane means like top half of the map now. Look at that. And just the fact that he's getting all this extra gold because of the Skirmisher Saber. It's crazy.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, 30 extra gold for every big camp like that. Think of how many he's taken. I bet he's nearing 3K ahead on Trace right now. Bet he's pretty close.
Distortion and chant for Nagne here. Nagne's only purpose in life is to be a stun bot, so Someday can carry at the moment. He's like, I have to have flash up all the time.
Hey, if you've played Annie, you know what life as a stun bot is like. You stunned him, you got one rotation of cooldowns, good, you can die now. Thanks for being in the team fight.
Thanks for playing.
Yep.
Even Arrow getting a QSS as his third item here. It's all about Someday.
I guess so. Should change his name to Today.
Because that's when he's going to carry.
Yep, that's right. All about right now. Should just go ahead and just go all out and change the name to Showtime. Why not? It's Showtime. Well,
here he comes.
Mid lane push coming in from Jin Air. Ooh, they spot Someday. They spot Showtime coming through the river there.
Blue buff taken for Kog'Maw, so KT continues to be all over Jin Air's buffs.
Oh. All right, nobody wants to try to catch that grip. Oh, here they go. Speeding up. Doing a decent amount of damage to him.
Red Smite used on GBM right there.
Yeah, it's going to be down for like another 2 seconds. Yeah, the double charge on Smite really makes this even crazier, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It's like it doesn't even matter. He's like, oh, I've got Smite again already.
More true damage for you.
Yep. All right, well, it's Dragon time. KT camping out by the Dragon Dome. And everybody's in the brush. Oh, boy. Oh, here we go. Score! Nice! Oh! And here comes the Onslaught of Shadows! Oh, boy! That was messy. And just like that, it's Showtime.
That was dirty.
That was. Wow. Score's like, I can't even believe I did that. I can't believe they died so fast. I guess it's time for Baron.
Pilot didn't even have a chance to spell shield right there.
No, he was just instantly dead. The fact is they got both carries. They got GBM and Pilot.
No Zonias, no time
man.
For the Frozen Tomb. Nothing. Just instant death from the damage that Someday was putting out too after he used that Onslaught of Shadows and then rampaging in the middle of them.
Oh, Chaser gets grabbed, Nagne over the wall. Who said stun bot? He's a stone cold killer. And of course, Someday picks up the Baron with that Smite. Score is like, wow, I'm out of a job, aren't I? Now, you hit a good ult in that last team fight. Well, it wasn't really much of a fight. It was like an assassination, more like.
Now I'm really sad that we're not going to see KT for like another 2 months, though.
I know, right?
They've been playing so well.
They tease us. They tease us. Like, this is especially bad for you, as you have been known as a KT fan throughout your casting career here. Must be hard, man. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you.
It's okay. I'm used to disappointment, Doa.
I've been an SKT fan, so I'm not quite as used to that.
It's okay.
What's that like?
KT won the last Pro League.
It's true. It's true. They have a tendency to do that when KT and SKT meet. But League is a different story, man.
It's true.
It's all SKT. The League of Legends. Well, let's watch this again because it's entertaining.
Wow, look at that. He used his Arctic Assault first, and so that makes it a lot more likely for him to hit that ultimate. And what is just a fantastic engage right there. It doesn't even matter that everybody's bottled up by the Jarvan ult. The Wombo combo is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even a very dangerous face check for Jin Air. They were playing pretty far back in that bush. They were definitely afraid of that happening, but it was so well executed and timed by KT.
I liked how Chaser popped his ult and he was like, oh, see ya. I gotta go, guys. Sorry, I double parked my horse. All right, well, that's going to be another dead turret for KT. Jin Air not really able to stop any of this. And Baron powered and just so much insane damage from Someday.
KT's patience this game is really good, because if we remember back to times where they would try and play Juggernaut, they would get a good early lead.
They're going to go in. Okay. That was a little bit premature. Someday taking the lantern to safety. How does... I guess he has to, like, let go of his axe with one hand to take that lantern. He just, like, grabs it with his hooves. Just wraps all 4 hooves around it. I don't know how that works.
Well, that was a good engage because KT didn't over-pursue it, and they got a tower.
Yeah, that is true. They didn't play it too. Oh, here we go. GBM with a big ult coming in. Can they make a play? Equalizer is down. Wow, look at the damage. Nagne picking up another kill. Everyone's still alive. Someday, will he make it out? A double kill for Nagne as KT wins that fight, and Someday survives.
Well,
with like 0 health.
Hecarim's W is pretty good at making him live, and here he comes back. He's back.
Pick up home guard and teleport back in. Oh, here he comes. Oh, look out. Jay is in trouble. Oh, nope, the turret saved him. I think the rest of Jin Air is in trouble. They might just want to... I guess they can't end it right here. Oh, maybe they can. They've got a wave. I thought they didn't have a wave, but they do. This one's over, guys. 2-0 for KT. And, well, you know, I hope you enjoyed that because it's going to be a couple months before we see this team again. So there you go.
It won't be a couple months before we see more Hecarim, though.
I don't think so. GG.
With Smite.
And a 32-minute 2-0. KT just literally runs over Jinair in game number 2.